poles are the best. I'm back at my favorite hill for training, and I have my favorite trekking poles. So I'm just going to talk about how to use these efficiently for hiking and running. I have 13 screws in this hip, I have an impingement in my hips, and I had to have 2 surgeries. These poles have been lifesavers for me to continue hiking and running. I'm actually having some knee issues now too, so I'm really dependent on these, basically using them like crutches. They can help a lot of people take some of the pressure and stress off your joints and your lower extremities. So I highly recommend poles for everybody to use. The first thing is how to hold the handle and the straps. A lot of times people use them like skiers. They go up and through and have this strap around their hand, and that puts a lot of stress on your thumb. So I recommend putting your hand down and through and then using the strap like a sling. So what that does is it provides a point of leverage. When I'm going up and downhill, I'm able to push through the straps and push myself up and through and use my upper body, my core a little bit more. A lot of times people have this death grip and then they're complaining that their hands are numb and they don't have that circulation and their hands are getting cold. It's because they have a death grip. So if I'm able to use the strap and have that leverage, I'm gonna be able to take a lot more stress off my lower extremities that way. Another technique I alternated with when I did my big training hikes through Kilimanjaro is holding it on the top like a cane. I would alternate between the straps on the wrist, holding it on the top like a cane, pushing down through the ground here and focusing on engaging my core and pushing into the ground. Because if you're just using the poles like this, there's really no point. They actually become more of a hindrance. You can catch them on trees, you can hit somebody else. So we gotta really be purposeful with how we use these poles. All right, so I'm gonna show you how I like to use them on flat ground. Like I mentioned with my joint issues, even on flat treks, I'm using these guys. Straps like slings, and I'm just gonna go across my body, reaching the pole in front of me, and kind of like pulling myself through. I'm really pushing into the ground and I'm really pushing through the upper body, so I'm feeling that engagement in my triceps and my shoulders. All right, so this is flat ground, I'm right here, okay? Same thing with running, I can run here. All right, ew. All right, so now Chase the dog is here with me. We're gonna do some hill work with the poles, so let's head to the hill. All right, this guy on video does not look that steep. It's probably like, I don't know, 25, 30 degrees, it's steep. When I go uphill, I can do the cross pull here, the single pull, or when it gets really steep, or maybe there's big rocks or there's big stairs, you're gonna double pull. So you're gonna put the poles in front of you and lift and engage yourself through. I'm pushing through. This really gives me some momentum as I'm running, same thing, pulling myself through. Scott had to keep up with me. It kind of makes it more fun. And then I'm getting this full body workout. Uphill, downhill. I'm able to use the poles. If you have knee problems, this can really help because I'm lowering myself, taking the stress off those knees. I can double pull, I can lower myself down. I got a big rack here, or I can reach in front of myself and I can use the poles to allow me to decelerate. So they actually slow me down. It slows down my momentum because gravity is wanting to take me down this steep hill. Gravity is pulling me down, so I'm using the poles to slow my body down. The last use for these guys is balance. So this is like my third and fourth leg. I've caught myself so many times with these guys, like especially as we get older, or you're not doing like agility drills, you're not working in your footwork. We started to get foot drop here and we're catching our feet on these rocks and roots on the ground. If you're catching your feet, the poles can, if you have them out to the sides or in front of you, they can actually catch you and protect you from falling. I guess one last thing is I mentioned like third and fourth leg on really steep inclines. I imagine myself as like, I'm clawing myself up the mountain. So like Kilimanjaro, there's some steep sections, or 14,000 foot peaks in Colorado. I get low and I'm literally like a spider clawing my way up the mountain. This enables me to use my backside, use my glutes more, and really think about pushing my energy forward and pushing gravity up the hill. Hopefully these tips help. I'm gonna run downhill with these guys and see how I do with my knee. Tons of ultra runners use these, especially in Europe where it's really rugged in the Alps. So give it a try these tips. Remember to really be purposeful with where you're putting the poles. Eyes are always looking ahead. It does take some practice, there is a learning curve, so be patient. It may feel like it's more work up front, but eventually you're gonna be more efficient, more effective, and you're gonna run faster and hike faster. Bye.